did Trump want to win?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, not a lot of people, I've heard it said once or twice, maybe Trump didn't plan on winning. Not the first time, but obviously the first time, but that it was a ploy to get his whole news network off the ground, and he just wanted to run with the fake news premise, and he didn't. It's not that he wanted to lose, but he just didn't think that he would win, and that's his original plan was to do the what did he call the news? His media thing, something Max or something.
Newsmax?
Newsmax.
I don't think that's his media. If it is, that's
no. I'm saying no. He said whatever he's gonna name it or whatever he's gonna do.
I don't remember hearing that.
His news outlet. A lot of people are saying they thought that was his main goal. I don't personally believe so, but I just think it's interesting to discuss because Trump has always been like, he's going to go down in history as really, really controversial because a lot of people, he's like, and his controversy comes kind of from like a mystique because a lot of people are going to paint him as larger than life and as a genius. So like a lot of things are going to get attributed to him and his personality or whatever, negative and positive, and I kind of wanted to see where you guys fall with that. Like, do you think he is like? I know how you guys kind of think about if he wanted to win or not, but do you think he's as calculated as some may think?
I'll go first then. I don't think he's that calculating, but I think the people around him are.
I agree. I was gonna say the same thing.
And so I think that the people around him being that way know to rely on him just being like forward. And so, because I don't think that Trump's afraid to just run in the door and just kick it down and be like, I'm fucking here. And so I think that he did that within his entire presidency and even leaving. I think that he's also going to do the forward attack for whatever it is he's setting up next. And I actually do think that his family is now a political family. Like, they will have political influence.
I won't lie, that actually does annoy me.
Within the
But that was the aspirations, though.
No, yeah. For sure. But I've said it before, and I'm not voting for Donald Trump 2024 if he runs. Like I've heard those people say that, and it's like no.
I think he's going to. I honestly.
Or was it Eric? I don't know. It's one of the two, but it's like no. I'm not for political.
I hate. Families. Yeah, I was about to say I hate political families. I don't like father and son running the country. We both got to run the country.
Just because your dad did it doesn't mean you can do it.
The country?
You know? I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, it's a little scary, because it kind of like starts blowing the line on like the whole kingship stuff and monarchy.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? If you think about it, right? Let's say it was a lunch lady. She was serving the school 40 years, son. She leaves. Her son or daughter comes. Let me run the lunches.
Years later, who wants to work at the same school?
Who wants to work at the same? Let me run the lunches. And they say, hey, what's your experience? Well, my mom used to run the lunches. They gonna laugh them out the interview. But we would let somebody run the country based off the merit of their parent.
That's the scary part, man.
That's wild.
I completely agree.
We wouldn't let that happen for any other. My dad was coaching. Let me just come coach this team right quick. Nigga, no, fuck you. But now the country, go on, brother. Your daddy did a good job, kind of, sort of, maybe. I don't know. There's no president everybody's not divided on.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I mean, go back to the original question. Yeah, I agree with what Doc said. Like, I don't know how things play out. It makes you question, but at the end of the day, personally, I think he just surrounds himself by people who are just understand how to navigate, and he gets presented options, and he always chooses the more aggressive option.
Okay. So it's like, okay, Trump, we got to pivot now.
Like, for example,
have this and this, this, this.
Like, for example, with the killing of, what was his name?
Gaddafi?
Was it Gaddafi? I don't know. I forgot the guy's name, but apparently for that killing. Say it again?
The Iranian general?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, the Iranian general.
Yeah.
Okay, no, sorry. Gaddafi is Libyan president.
Apparently, from what I read, he was actually presented different options, and he chose that option. So that's my personal opinion. Like, Trump he has people around him. They give him choices, like, based off this, blah, 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 or someone else, like, well, this, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I want to go with that one. That's what I think.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah,
At the end of the day,
I
he's the
agree with
decision maker.
that. I agree with that. I
And
also
to-
agree
and-
that Trump,
And yeah, I mean,
if
I
you get
agree
close
also.
enough to him, I think you can manipulate him enough. As long as you played with his ego, I think you can manipulate Trump.
I think so too. Part of me actually, when the whole like election thing was going down and people were fighting about it, I was kind of wondering. I was just like should he win again? I think he can be manipulated, but I think people aren't willing to put aside their anger to realize it. Because he actually responded really fast, man. Like this was like an ethical question that I always asked myself when the whole George Floyd thing went down and like even COVID and stuff like that. Like he responded really fast in reaction to the situation. Like when Freddie Gray was murdered, like Obama just kind of gave an address. He didn't really change a law. He didn't sign an executive order. Trump did in 2 weeks. He signed an executive order to slightly reform police, to an extent. And that kind of to me was just like, whoa, like he can actually be manipulated because he's so reaction based.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting. But I mean, it was like a good thing he did it. Like it's just, I don't know, it was just like a weird thing I had noticed.
I don't think he's like gullible to like that degree.
I don't know. I feel like
But,
we
like,
can't say that he's manipulative just because we feel like we can manipulate him.
No. I
don't necessarily disagree
I don't
with
think
you.
so. I think no. I honestly, it's based off his characteristics, and so I don't saying it to be fact, but I'm really 100% sure. Like somebody close enough to Trump, if you can paint something in a way that would make him look good, or give him the upper hand, the appearance of the upper hand, I think you could sell him on it. And I think when your ego is that big, you are more easily manipulated than whatever your position is, the average of that. For example, Kanye West. Kanye West is somebody who's hungry for knowledge all the time, but he's also not patient enough to go into the nuances of other fields other than music. So he'll get a little bit of this and run off on it and start doing things and acting off of a small piece of information, off of something that's supposed to be looked at in depth. Okay? So somebody like that, if you can get close enough to him, then you're like, oh, Socrates said this, and it meant this. Or Socrates said this, and nobody's even doing this yet. His mind, you know what motivates him. You know what he's trying to do. You know how his mind works. And you know he also is not going to go into depth enough to where it's, you just have to have enough meat. And then he's going to go for it. And like you say, he's going to pick the most aggressive. You know that. You said that. He's going to pick the most aggressive thing. So now, what if I control the options? What if all three options are aggressive in some capacity? And I just take off the non-aggressive? Or the least aggressive option. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that type of person can be manipulated.
Damn.
I get what you're saying, but I feel like we're using very extreme examples. Like I don't think I feel like that's
I don't know.
I understand what you're
like
trying
that
to
in
say.
the White House. I mean, we'd have
it's just
to.
sounding really dramatic.
No,
Well, we'd
it's
have
not
to pray that
dramatic.
there's
I'm just
nobody
saying,
like that in the White
period.
House.
In the workplace, anything like that. People who operate off, or people who are reactionary off their ego can be manipulated.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. And that is what I see in Trump. And it's not like, oh, he shouldn't be president because of that shit or anything like that. I'm just saying that's just a character he has because he hasn't always been a politician. Like, could you imagine somebody going into the Apprentice show? Man, fuck you, Trump. You fired.
Then I guess for me,
Like-
I guess I appreciate that I can actually read Trump.
Okay. No, I mean, I wasn't saying it was a.
No. I guess because people could say that factor is a negative thing. I am trying to defend him in a way because I understand, because I agree. If to speak to my ego, I feel like if I met Trump, I feel like I can manipulate him to a bit because I understand he's got an ego. As long as I stroke his ego, talk him up, little cherries on top, he's gonna be Mr. Nice Guy to me. Heck, he might even throw me a couple bucks.
He might give you some information,
right? But like you said, like I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing.
I mean, I can't say it's not a bad thing because as in that position you shouldn't be, but you should also be receptive to information. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But with him and it being based off his ego, now it's what type of ego do you want to portray? So whatever character that he's putting out, everybody has a character they put out to the public. Nobody's 100%
Themselves.
So whatever it is he's trying to portray, he has to protect that. So now all you have to do is stroke his ego in a way that protects that image. Now, whatever that is, may be to your benefit or not to your benefit. But it is a little worrisome if a president can be manipulated just based off his ego, because now we're talking about foreign relations. Now we're talking about just him and that guy being in that room.
And I would honestly, if we're gonna go down this argument a little bit or this discussion, I would argue that he's kind of proved a little bit that he won't let it get too much to his what's the word, in his way too much. Because I mean, the media, they've been heavily after him. He speaks. He says some of his rhetoric has been very abrasive, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because at the end of the day, it's still Trump. But in his actions, he hasn't really done anything extremely, like you could argue, reactive.
Yeah, I can say that. But I can also say that nobody's trying to manipulate him. I don't think he's put people around him. I don't think the people he's hired on his staff are trying to manipulate him towards any goal that he hasn't established.
Okay, I agree with that.
I'm saying
personally,
his personality, if somebody
can be. I get you.
Exactly.
No, I get you.
Okay, so that's all I was saying. And knowing that, well, he just has the know with all or whatever to hire people he feels or people he trusts won't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I just do believe. Go ahead.
I think that's also a double-edged sword, man. Like, he put around him a lot of people that he trusts and are are loyal to him. But I also think that those people couldn't solve some of the problems that fell during his presidency, and it kind of fucked them up a little bit.
Probably shattered their egos a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, Donald Trump's going to tell me I can't do this task.
Well, his supposedly that address to the nation, it was his, what's that guy's name? He's the really tall, lanky dude, and I think he's like married to his daughter or something like that.
Schiff? Oh, no, you're talking about Trump. What's his name?
The Jewish guy.
Yeah.
You married to Ivanka?
Garrett or Garrett?
Yeah.
Garrett?
No.
I'll know the name when you say it.
Yeah, I know. I'm mad that he's not popping my head.
Garrett
right now.
Kushner?
Because he's the one who's linked to a lot of bullshit. He the money guy. I'll fuck with him.
It's Kushner.
Kushner,
Yeah,
yeah.
Kushner. Okay, so supposedly
Kushner.
the address to the nation,
Same name as the goddamn.
that said the nation was essentially shutting down everything. It was his idea, and Trump led with it and went with it. But Kushner forgot to elaborate how they were going to shut down the country, and so it freaked everybody out. And so I saw a video later where Trump was just like, "Fuck, I should have probably gone with that idea," and that was just a fuck up on that guy's part.
My boy joined the Republican Party in 2018.
He got in when he got the job, bro.
2009, independent 2009 to 18, and
So-
then jumped to Republican Party.
So what about 2016 and 17? When your boy Trump in office?
I don't know if he had a job then.
So he ain't become Republican until they hired him. He got hired on Republican.
Yeah. For real, they gave him his fucking, his sign-on bonus, and they gave him a badge, and they're like, "Here, you're Republican."
That's wild. Democratic before 2019. He must have been broke.
I do think it's wild though that
Before
Trump was putting in models and stuff like that. It's the White House. Everyone was attracted, bro. Shit's a real drama.
You got to get the good looks in his family, dog. Because
Everyone
Trump
looks
is
attractive with the
questionable.
White House. West Wing's real.
I don't think none of them boys gonna come out on Vogue. You know what I mean?
I don't think
none of the sons gonna come out and send any trends in fashion or looks.
I don't know.
I don't see
I
it.
don't care.
Barron's the last hope, ain't he? He
For
the
what?
youngest.
Fashion?
I mean, just look. I'm just talking about looks. Ivanka bad.
We're talking about the guys.
Yeah, Ivanka's a baddie, but goddamn,
Yeah, she's pretty cute.
all the sons look like caricatures of Trump.
I don't know. Her facial features are too defined for me.
She's European.
I guess I don't like European then.
Ivanka body is
What's
stuck.
her friend, the one that's his aide that gave him COVID?
Oh yeah, she was sucking a little dick.
It's gonna Google or Trump's aide who gave him.
Yeah, I am.
What's her name?
I don't know. It's not popular.
What job did she have? She had some stupid ass job too.
She's a-
Donka.
No, the girl.
aide,
She was like, I totally had no
presidential aide.
experience for this job, but Trump said he believed in me and I can do it, and I was like, sure.
Democrat before 2016.
Wild. She turned Republican too in 2018. These niggas is funny, dog.
Oh, you found her?
That's why I'm not
No.
a. Yeah, well, no, I didn't find her. Just talk about her. Like, I'm not for political families. Back to that. Like, after Trump, that's it. If you want to run again, like, you gotta prove yourself. Like, I don't know. Just because you're a Trump, nah, I'm not for that. Hey, thanks for watching a clip of Fake Deep Thinking. If you like what you heard, be sure to subscribe, like the clip, leave a comment, and check out our page for more content. Full episodes of Fake Deep Thinking are released every Friday on Podbean, iTunes, and Spotify. Peace.